Afternoon, everybody. It's me again, Shannon Fox here, Devoted Patriots 2 channel. I got some reading to do for you. I got a couple clips I want to share with you and a little bit of breaking news information I got for you on the back end, just about what's going on with our immigration process that's fixing to get ugly. Here we go. First off, everybody knows that Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy by now have been to Capitol Hill and started discussing caucuses and committees and subcommittees, talking with Marjorie Taylor Greene and James Comer and the people on the appropriations and oversight committees about cutting government waste, fraud, and abuse. I think this is a great idea. It's a great plan. I think the only problem will be some of it can't be fixed with executive orders, so we're going to have Congress, House, and Senate actually do their job and vote on things that actually help regulate or deregulate some of this money that is being wastefully stolen. No doubt about it. And so today is actually the very first set of action after that meeting. Marjorie Taylor Greene and James Comer, part of the Oversight Committee, just put out a scathing, 10-point letter. Basically, I'll go ahead and read some of it to you, but basically telling them, watch out, look out, do your job, be sure you cooperate, and we're watching you. All right, folks, here we go. This is actually good news, great information. It says, James Comer and Marjorie Taylor Greene put out a letter, this committee's first act on exposing corruption and putting 24 of Biden's federal agencies, the alphabet agencies, on notice with a letter informing them of an investigation into whether any agency leader are abusing federal labor laws by granting authority over agencies' operations and policies to unions, chiefly to bind the hands of a future president. What they're trying to do is they're trying to put guardrails on Trump. They're trying to put clauses in and regulations in where these people can't be fired because they don't show up to work, just things like that. Anything they can do to prevent Trump from coming in there and possibly getting rid of an agency, getting rid of employees, changing things around. They're trying to do everything they can to make it to where it's not possible to change things around, involving union policies and things like that. They're trying to backdoor Trump's ability to get what he wants when it involves fixing things. So the letter cites recent reports that Biden regime and the unions have colluded to undermine the incoming administration. And that includes all the three-lettered agencies that hate Trump as well. They're trying to cover up everything they can. They're trying to shore up their own situation, trying to protect themselves, just because they're a ticking time bomb when it comes to all this stuff coming at them. They know they're in trouble. As a matter of fact, we have 42,000 Social Security Administration employees that just recently, in the last couple of days, have been executive ordered to be able to work from home until 2029. That's an example, one prime example of this kind of crap I'm talking about. But like I said, they did put out a scathing letter. It says this letter is to assist committee in its investigation. Please provide the following no later than December 20th. So they got a couple of weeks, folks. A list of all the ongoing negotiations between your agency and exclusive representatives recognizing under provision Chapter 71 of Title V United States Code to enter into a new CBA and renegotiate, modify, and extend any existing CBA to include detailed description of the issues under negotiation and the date negotiations begin. Basically, that is a list of everybody that is colluded with each other in order to change the rules to prevent anything that Trump might do. So they need to be basically transparent with what they're doing, what acts they're actually taking. Now, it's great that they're asking the right questions. Telling them you need to hold on to your stuff, especially your communications, because we already see y'all trying this shady crap over the next 2 months. We're going to be dialing that back, and we're going to be investigating everybody that's involved in all this, trying to shore up y'all's team, because you got an incoming president that has got a doji team that's probably going to come in and shake things up. They're trying to prevent Trump from being able to rattle the cage, and it's not going to work. That's what this 24 executive agency threat letter basically was. Stop trying to Trump-proof your stuff, because if you do, we got questions for you. Matter of fact, you're going to be held accountable on these 11 points. Hold your communications. It's good. I'm glad to see they're doing that. Strongly worded letter works every time. You know that, right, folks? Now, folks, I can't say that there's any Democrat that is worth listening to, but I do want to say that John Fetterman is probably the only one that I do listen to occasionally, because he tends to have a moment of clarity. When he first jumped on the scene, I thought he was a communist and a socialist, and he votes Democrat Party all the way down the ticket, so I thought just another socialist in the Democrat Party. But after he had his episode and he came out of it, I've been listening to him quite a bit, and he sounds more like he's got common sense and cares about the country. Now, I know a lot of people hating on John Fetterman, and I'm not a big fan of his, but as far as what Democrat I prefer to think is maybe a moderate, middle of the road, possibly still has a little common sense, not brain damaged by his party affiliation, it would probably be John Fetterman, believe it or not. I've got 2 clips here of John Fetterman, and the ladies of The View didn't like what John Fetterman had to say. This is not just one example. This is one of many examples of John Fetterman just speaking his mind, saying, for example, he's talked shit about Nancy Pelosi stock trading. He's praised Trump in his ability to bring the country together. He said several things that just doesn't fit with his party narrative. Here we go. It says, John Fetterman gives The View co-host a reality check about Trump. This is so good, folks. Here we go.
Senator John Fetterman has built his political career on calling it like he sees it, and we have a lot to talk to him about right now. So please welcome back Senator John Fetterman.
Okay, I have the first question.
You have the first question.
So, Senator, President Biden's decision to pardon his son Hunter is facing bipartisan backlash. Even the Democrats are all over it. But what do you think? Is this much ado about nothing? It is his son, after all, and people do have sympathy for that. But a lot of people are angry with him about it. What do you say?
Oh, well, I think it's undeniable that the case against Hunter Biden was really politically motivated. But I also think it's true that the trial in New York for Trump, that was political as well too. Now it's that, and in both cases, I think a pardon is appropriate. And I really think collectively, America's confidence in these kinds of institutions have been damaged by these kinds of cases. And
I'm going to stop it right there for just a second. You can hear these ladies faintly in the background gasping, oh, oh.
We cannot allow these kinds of institutions to be weaponized against our political opponents. And it's very clear both trials were politically motivated and weaponized that on the other side.
They'll say that about the J6 people too, though, right? That's what they're going to say on the other side. That is weaponized also.
I'm not referring to that. I'm talking about the New York trial. And now the Democrats on our side there were some that were gleeful, calling it like, now he's a convicted felon and those things. And now for our party, we were talking about criminal justice, and we are now talking about second chances. And now all of a sudden now you're like, well, he's a convicted felon and all these things. And now clearly, again, both of those trials, the Hunter Biden one and the trial in New York for Trump.
He just pointed out the hypocrisy, how the Democrat Party is supposed to be the party of compassion, but they have no compassion for Trump.
That was politically motivated, and those kinds of charges would have never been brought unless one side could realize that they could weaponize that.
Senator, many of Trump's cabinet picks are raising eyebrows, but right now all eyes are on Pete Hegseth, who has faced sexual assault and alcohol abuse allegations. He denies any wrongdoing and says he isn't going anywhere. But where do you think this is heading? And there are reports that privately Trump is considering other names to lead the Pentagon, including Governor DeSantis. These two were bitter rivals during the primary. So given their past, is this something you see happening?
Well, no. I mean, for me, it's like I would like to remind everybody that are watching this that Trump won. and now he's going to have control of the House and my chamber and the Senate. And now he'll also is going to have a Supreme Court that is a strong conservative slant too. Now he gets to pick all these nominees. And I'm not going to get worked up about a nominee when the Republicans haven't even decided that that's who I really want to have at this point. Now with there's some people now until they're all doing it's all about the math. With the second they have 50 votes, that person's going to the floor, and then they're going to be the next person. That's guaranteed because Vance will be there to break the tie on through that. So until they can even work it out on their side, I'm not going to get worked crazy or freak out about every nominee. And I'd like to remind that they get to pick the people, and we're going to be in the majority, and that's how this works.
They're not liking John Fetterman too much. Pull videos over here on the Gateway Pundit if you want to watch that. I don't usually watch The View, but that was actually very interesting to see John Fetterman have common sense and hear these people on The View just they're speechless at this point. What do you say to somebody that's from the Democrat Party that is speaking common sense because he's telling the truth? They don't even know how to deal with the truth. Here's another clip of John Fetterman that I thought was worth sharing. He's coming around, believe it or not, folks. I believe even Eric Adams has come around the last couple of weeks. He talked about yesterday. Talked about possibly switching political affiliation is not out of the question. Now, Elon Musk said yesterday on Twitter, he said you got to admire John Fetterman because he stands up for the country. And he had a lot of responses to that. Don't trust John Fetterman. He's a Democrat, blah, blah, blah. But Elon Musk was actually referenced here by John Fetterman in this video.
And our nation better.
And this is exactly what he's talking about.
You see yourself ultimately working with folks like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, who will be heading.
Yeah, I admire Mr. Musk. He has been involved in very important parts of American society, AI, SpaceX, and other kinds of things. Yes, he's on a different team, but that doesn't make me an enemy. I don't be automatically going to become a critic. It's like, hey. He has made, he's made our economy and our nation better, and our politics are different, and I don't agree with some of the things that he might say, but that doesn't make him, like I said, an enemy.
You see yourself ultimately working with folks like...
Now, that's the way a normal Democrat should have a response to things. Sometimes when you lose, you have to take it on the chin. Sometimes you got to work with the other team, even though you may not agree with 100% of their ideas. Because you're on a different team doesn't necessarily make them your enemy. And I agree with that. I believe over the next 4 years we will actually have a lot of Democrats, because it's advantageous to their own position, will come around and be on Team Trump when this deportation and several things start coming down the pike. Once they lose that sanctuary city funding, they're not going to want to have these illegals in their cities. You'll see, folks. It'll happen with a quickness. Now, I got 2 video clips for you of people pissed off in Illinois. One of them, if you don't know this lady, her name is Tiffany Henyard. She is the mayor in Illinois. I forget what the name is, what city it is. But she was fired today. Basically, in the nomination process, they basically kicked her off of her ability to run as the next primary contestant in the mayoral race there. She is a tyrant. She is a crook. There's been many videos put out about her, about the way she talks to her constituents, the way she's overspent the money that comes into that city for her own lavish motorcades and just expensive way of living. It's pretty sick. Now, I think I've done a video on her once. It's been about a year ago, but if you don't know Tiffany Henyard, go check out some of the crazy stories about her. But the people in this Illinois town have spoken, and right after this I've got another one, awesome video as well, out of Chicago, Illinois. People are pissed off about the immigration. That's a good one as well, so stick around, folks. We'll get through this together. All right, folks, check this out. It's a little noisy, but it's good stuff. Now, this lady right here, that's Tiffany. Tiffany the Tyrant.
Let the people come in. Let them come in. Let the people come in to vote.
Freely Norwood, the motion has been seconded. All in favor of the Napoleon Harris slate being nominated for the April 1st consolidated.
I nominate myself.
You see that expression? She just got dethroned. And everybody is glad.
What happened, Tiffany? What happened?
Here's what she said before the caucus began.
They can't beat me. If they could beat me, they would have went to the polls.
What do you do tonight if you don't get the Democratic Party's nomination?
What do you mean? I will be victorious tonight. You will see. My people out here. They're not going to go nowhere. The show will go on.
Her allies now figuring out their next steps.
This is the biggest. This is the biggest. This is a fraud.
Things are changing, folks. These Democrats are not doing too well this day and time. Tides are turning. I see the shift happening, even on the smallest of levels, and I'm just glad to see it. And here's just another example of another Illinois resident, actually several of them, that are just pissed off and got something to say. This is directed towards Mayor Brandon Johnson of Chicago, the guy that took Beetlejuice Lightfoot's job. This is involving the immigration problem. People are pissed. Let's see if I got my screen lined up. All right, here we go. This is so good, folks. Check it out.
Brandon Johnson, the good news is we got 48 days before Trump take that oath. In January, ICE gonna come in and get rid of the illegal immigrants. Here's the thing. In order for us to get these taxes, we gotta get rid of these illegals. So this was gonna happen to you. You got Kash Patel and Pam Bundy that you're gonna have to deal with sooner than later. Then it's gonna be an audit. Next, it's gonna be an investigation. Then it's gonna be an indictment.
Well, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Oh, I like that. Oh my God. I like that. That's
Conviction. That's what's gonna happen to you.
One thing that Chicago people know very well is how to spot a scam, and the scam has been exposed. I want to say thank you to the city council. I want to say thank y'all for voting down that $300 million. Thank you for saving us $300 million. Thank you for saying no to $150 million, and we want y'all to say no to the $60 million. You all did not get enough hand claps, enough support, enough love. Know that the whole country was clapping and proud of the work of this city council, because our mayor is embarrassing us, y'all, around the world. And you all took the power back from him to say the city of Chicago is out of the business of funding illegals. We are out of the business of prioritizing non-American citizens on top of the American citizens who go out in this cold weather every day to make money to pay their taxes.
This is kind of related. This is Stephen Miller, one of my favorites, Trump's legal advisor. He was talking about what's fixing to happen. And he's right, you know.
It's going to be at light speed, Sean. The moment that President Trump puts his hand on that Bible and takes the oath of office, as he has said, the occupation ends, Liberation Day begins. He will immediately sign executive orders, sealing the border shut, beginning the largest deportation operation in American history, finding the criminal gangs, rapists, drug dealers, and monsters that have murdered our our citizens and sending them home. No one will be allowed to enter the country illegally, and ICE will be empowered in partnership with FBI, DEA, ATF, the National Guard to fully seal and secure the border with CBP and to find and identify the criminal threats that are inside this country and send them back home. We saw that. It's going to be at light speed, Sean. The moment the
That's what I'm talking about. Light speed deportations. We're going to find them. We're going to round them up. We're going to kick them out. We're going to go to the jails and get lists like the ICE agents used to do and drag these people out of the jails and put them on a deportation list. Put them in these deportation facilities, concentration camps, whatever you want to call them. I believe they're going to be mostly here in Texas. And then figure out how we're going to bounce them out, whether we're going to throw them over the wall or whether we're going to fly them back to so far away they're going to take them a while to walk back. Hopefully this all swings into action immediately. I'm sure the lawsuits are already brewing from the Democrat lawyers to try to stop this, but I don't think it's going to work. I think we got enough federal judges. It's not going to work in most situations. All right, last clip of the day, folks, is just the way I feel about this whole situation.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y feliz.
You get the picture, folks. That is the wall, folks. Like, subscribe, and share to Devoted Patriots. Hopefully everybody's having a great day. Sharing the video out actually helps better than anything else. Comments help. I love it when people comment. I read every single comment. Without a responder, I don't. But sharing these videos out is probably the best way to get the truth out, whether you're sharing them on this platform or sharing them over to other platforms as well. Easy to do. Everybody have a great day. See you this time tomorrow. Over and out.